Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. Your boy is back and I done did it again one more time. What's really good? Yeah, man, we are back and we are live. We're going to be looking for entry level job positions and at the same time answering the questions that you guys might have in the comment section. Or the chat, right? So, definitely make sure you go in, leave a like on the video, and also to go ahead and say what up, right? Just introduce yourself to the community. I'm watching the live stream right now. So as somebody pops up, I'll give you a quick shout out. So yeah, let's go in and let's get started. Let's not waste time. Today is the day. Okay, let me just close a couple of things in here. All right. And yeah, let's get started. All right. So we're going to go in and we're going to start with looking what's out there for today for remote jobs. And then from there, we're going to start looking at, different states. If you guys want, if you are in a specific state, go ahead, leave the state that you want me to look for. And yeah, we'll start looking for some job opportunities. So, again, we're starting from HTML, which is going to show us every single job that's out there that's connected to web development. And then from there, we're changing it to the date so we can actually see the latest ones that just got listed. Okay, so let's see in here. Okay, associate application developer. Let's see what's in here. Okay, this is like a Java position. So this is an entry level position, guys. One thing that you're gonna notice in here: 1 year on hand of Java development. Always remember this: entry level positions, junior level positions are between zero experience to 1 to 2 years. Okay. The moment you start going for like 3, 4, 5, they're looking for somebody that already has like, a couple of years in the game, right? They don't want to babysit. So, okay, keep that in mind. So, yes, this is a position that is an entry level position, associate application developer. Okay, the next one we have in here, see, senior CRM marketing manager. Okay, this is part of working with HTML emails. Look at this proficiency in drag and drop email builders, basic HTML troubleshooting, etc. Right? This is a pretty good position. The athletic media company, right? Proving experience leading email. So again, I wouldn't consider this entry level position, but this lets you know the type of jobs you could get once you do have some experience doing HTML emails and email development. All right. Let's continue with this. Let's see. Life cycle marketing manager. Okay, this is with Salesforce, right? This is going to take a little bit more experience. But again, this is a good thing to see because it lets you know where can you take this of becoming an email developer. Okay, $111 to $150,000. Okay. Let's continue going down the line. Software engineer, junior developer, right? .NET. Those of you guys that have some experience with C#, .NET, this is an entry level position. Okay. Let's see in here what else we have. Okay, Drupal developer. There's some roles like this one, like Drupal, where we still consider this an entry level position because you have an edge. Not a lot of people know Drupal. Not a lot of people know PHP. And not a lot of people is planning on learning PHP or Drupal. So if you do pick up this skill and you're one of those guys that is like, hey man, I'm trying to find a job. I'm a full stack developer. I'm somebody that knows the front end, knows the back end. I will say consider learning Drupal. Okay, this is a niche, and this is a niche that works with government institutions, right? And a lot of enterprise level companies. When they're looking for a CMS system, they're going to choose Drupal over WordPress. And again, why is this an entry level position? Well, since there's not that many people that's out there that have the skills, when you have the skill, even though you might not have a lot of experience, professional experience, you still have an edge over everybody else because people don't know this. Okay, you'll have people that are full stack developers or front end developers applying to every job that's out there, and they'll see, well, this is a developer position, but guess what? They don't have knowledge of Drupal. That's what gives you the edge as an entry level position. Okay, let's see, digital implementation specialist. All right. Work from home, training development. I'm gonna add this to the list so we can add it to entry level jobs.ai. Training development, unlimited access to LMS system. Okay. What you will be doing, implementing QA tracking pixels, right? Meta, LinkedIn, Google Ads. This is an entry level position. Again, the job really consists of managing the website, making sure that the website is having all of the things that it needs as far as tracking. Whenever somebody goes to the add to cart, right? You got to track that through Google tags, Meta pixels, TikTok pixels. So again, this is a very simple position. Any one of you guys can do. All right, so let's continue with this. Okay, I'm seeing some states. I'm seeing some areas. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Michigan. Okay, cool. We're gonna get into that. All right. Let me see. Hey Joe, I'm a long Laravel developer. I am long for Laravel developer. Uganda, 3-4 years of experience. Nice. Let me see. Drupal was a hella CMS. It's good. Shout out to my boy Dylan. Shout out to Dylan. Dylan's been with me for years, man. It's always good to see you, bro. If I'm not mistaken, Dylan is from Ireland, has been killing it for years. We've seen this dude grow from looking for a job to now, being a full stack developer and killing it out there. So congrats on that, bro. I'm so happy for you, man. And thank you for all the support you've always given me over the years, bro. Every time I see you, it hits a little spot in my heart because I'm like, damn, that's one of my original subscribers. Thank you for coming through, bro. Let me see. Chief Marketing Officer. Nah, I wouldn't go for that one. Senior Front-End Developer. I wouldn't go for that one. Full Stack Developer. AWS. No, I wouldn't go for that. So let's see what else we're looking for. Again, we're looking for entry-level positions. I'm trying to look out for you guys. So yes, there's jobs that, hey, if you are a senior level, mid-level developer, you can apply to. I'm focusing on you guys who are beginners and are trying to get into your first job position. That's why I'm skipping a lot of these. Okay, so let's see. So again, there's always jobs being listed. Always keep that in mind. Okay, let's see. Again, Drupal software developer, $15 to $20 an hour. Again, this is not something that's like really good for us, but for maybe somebody that is outside of the US, hey, I will still apply to a role like this. Because again, cost of living might not be the same as somebody here in the US, and that's your edge. Okay, most people here in the US, they're not gonna apply to a $15 to $20 an hour job. But if you live outside of the US and you say, well, I could live good with, $4,000 or $5,000 a month or $3,000 a month. Guess what? Don't be that guy that's like, man, I'm not gonna apply to the job because there's a guy in San Francisco making $200,000. Worry about you, worry about your family, worry about you making money. Don't let the game trick you out of opportunities. Okay? Quick story time, all right? Right? I know people love it when I come in with my story times. Okay, quick story time, right? So before I even got hired on my first job as a developer, right? I think I told the story before. I basically got tricked out of a job. And the reason I got tricked out of the job was because I was still learning how to code, right? I was still like early stages. I knew the front end, right? And I applied to a job that was a WordPress developer job. At the time, the job was paying, I believe, like $55,000, $60,000 for the position, right? And I applied to it. I interviewed, and the company was like, you know what, man? You don't have experience with WordPress, but we are willing to bet on you, and we're going to give you a position. Guess what happened? Young Joe, looking for validation, just like most junior developers. At the time, it was forums. There was no Discord. There was no there was Twitter, but nobody was really using it like that. I go into a forum, right, which was like for developers at the time. Okay. And I go in and I share my story. I say, hey guys, listen, I just got a job for WordPress developer. It's $55,000, $60,000. I'm going to be starting in 2 weeks, and I'm super excited. Right. And again, as a junior developer, sometimes you're looking for validation from like other developers in a sense to be like, hey man, good job, bro. Hey, congratulations. Guess what happened, right? I'm in this forum, a bunch of dweebs start going, you know, you getting 50, 60,000? Shit. I'm in San Francisco. I just got 110,000, bro. You should be focusing on Ruby on Rails, right? Mind you, this was early stages. I think I had like maybe 2, 3 months of just starting to learn how to code, right? Early stages. And I start going through the comments, going through the freaking things that people were posting. And I'm like, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe WordPress is not for me. Maybe WordPress is gonna pigeonhole me into this spot to basically just do WordPress, and I could never get another job because maybe other developers look down on that, and I can't find a job later on because now I'm a WordPress developer, right? So guess what I did? Young Joe, I go in and I got tricked, out the job. I go and I tell the company, hey, I already got an offer. Mind you, I don't have an offer. This is the first job that I applied to. This almost never happens. You apply to a job, you go to one interview, and then they tell you, hey, man, we're going to give you the job. That never happens, especially in this day and age. So I go in and I basically told them, yeah, I just got another offer, I appreciate the opportunity. And they were like, hey, man, no worries. We know you're a talented developer and you're going to do great things. We want you to be happy and go to where you need to go to, right? Guess what happened? Guess what happened, right? So now I go in and basically I start applying to a bunch of jobs. I didn't get a job till almost 9 months later. I could have had a job as a WordPress developer 2.5 months in of me just learning the basics of JavaScript and jQuery. At the time, this is like 2011, early stages. And I didn't trick myself. They tricked me out of a job. Now, mind you, all of those people, they live in their best life. They already have a job. Now, me stupidly, I deny a job because I'm listening to what people are saying on the internet, right? Or what other developers might think. Guess what? That's money that would have been in my pocket. I had to go through hell at that time. I was selling freaking clothes from, Goodwill. I was freaking doing odd jobs. I could have had a job. I could have had a full-time job, probably making 55, 60,000. And then from there, 6 months later, I would have gotten a raise, maybe 70, 75. But I let other people trick me out of a job position because I'm trying to impress other developers. That's when I learned, you know what? I'm not here to impress nobody. I'm here to make my money. Now, why do I bring this story? Because again, as you might see an opportunity here where it says, well, Drupal software developer, $15 to $20. There might be a guy right now that don't even have a job and wouldn't apply to a position like that. And they'll trick themselves out of the position because they'll think like, well, there's a guy right now in San Francisco making $300,000. Why should I get paid $15, $20? Because you don't have a job. This is your first job. Take it. Okay, make some money, put some money in your pocket, and keep it moving, right? Most companies will go in and give you a raise after 6 months. If they don't give you a raise, guess what? You learn new skills that now you could go in and apply for the same type of position or other positions related to this and make 2 times as much as you was making. Okay? Opportunities come, you got to take it. All right. So again, let me continue with this. Let's continue looking for jobs. Shout out to everybody in here. We have PeopleSoft developer, digital marketer. Again, this is an entry level position. All right. Okay. Working with paid ads, SEO. Okay, this is an entry level position. You can learn how to do paid ads in a weekend. We have on codingphase.com how to do Facebook ads, Google ads, all of that. You can learn that in a weekend, literally. Like, it's not a skill. Like, programming is hard. SEO and paid ads are not hard at all. Like, literally. Okay. Let me see. Website development and maintenance. Again, another position. Very low, but it's good for somebody that might be outside of the US. Okay. And looking again, this is probably like a part-time role. This is a role that you could probably do job stacking. You're making, let's say, 75 at a job, and guess what? This company needs somebody to just do maintenance on the website, do certain changes. Guess what? They know they're not paying for somebody full time. Okay, at $20,000 a year, they already know that you're gonna be doing other things to make income. So at the end of the day, you can look at this as a side income opportunity. All right. All right. So let's continue with this. Another position in here, Craft CMS developer. So Craft CMS is like an e-commerce platform, right? It's built with PHP, and then looking for somebody that can come in and do that type of work. If you know about Shopify, if you know about WordPress, this is something that you could literally do. Like nothing is stopping you. Okay, if you are a front-end developer, you can do this. All right, you don't have to be an expert. Again, they're paying $50,000 to $70,000. They know what type of developer they're gonna get. If they want an expert, they're gonna put in 100, 150. Okay, at 50 to 70,000, you're only gonna get junior level developers that's gonna apply to that role, and they know that. Okay, so this is where you go in and you take advantage of that. Okay, digital content producer contract parting. Okay, this is one of those roles that are popping up. I applied to that one, right? That one's pretty good. Okay, this is actually managing WordPress website, publishing, right? Just maintaining a website. It's nice, $50 to $90 an hour. Any one of you guys can go in and apply to that role. It's simple. All right, let's continue with this. Let's go in and actually, we just checked the remote jobs, right? Let me see. Okay, BigCommerce, which is similar to WordPress. For those of you guys that's interested in that, you can see that in there. Okay, they have another role as a web developer. This is probably going to be dealing with PHP. Okay, this is going to be in Boston, Massachusetts, remote. Okay, just knowledge of PHP. Again, this is just early stages. If you know Laravel, this is a great opportunity for you. All right, let me see what else we have in here. Technical SEO with dev experience. This is another great opportunity for those of you guys that are developers that have worked in agencies. Again, $100,000 to $120,000. So keep in mind, okay? I'll save that for later. That's a pretty good role. Technical SEO. That means that you're gonna be creating programmatically SEO pages. That's what it really means, okay? Understanding how to work with things like SEMrush, what's the other one? Ahrefs, right? Having those skills and knowing how to monitor the SEO and how to improve the SEO of a page, that's a good opportunity. There's a lot of roles with SEO. If you want to go in and start learning a extra skill this weekend coming up, pay attention to SEO. This is going to be big. I mean, it's always been big, but now it's going to be even bigger, okay? Especially with AI, because people are no longer going to Google. They're going to ChatGPT and all of these other platforms. By you learning how to start ranking inside of AI models, that gives you an edge for a lot of these type of roles. Again, I'm trying to help you guys out. You have to understand that we are living in an age where just knowing how to code, it's not enough. You need to come in and bring value to a company. There are going to be some positions that is just purely coding, okay? But most of the time, if you want to find a job fairly quickly, you're going to have to combine certain things with the skills that you have, okay? You might want to combine your SEO skill. You might want to combine how to rank on AI. You might want to combine how to use some design tool, maybe Canva, maybe Sketch, maybe Figma, right? You might want to combine using CMS system, how to manage online stores, e-commerce. This is the edge that you have now. All these guys, all they know is how to do click-clack. Guess what? Click-clack is no longer, what it used to be. Okay, let's just be honest. Just knowing how to code is not what it used to be. Because a guy that, maybe 5 years ago would say, well, I've been working with MySQL for the last 10, 15 years. Okay. And I could pretty much create and optimize any type of database that you might need me to do, right? At that point, that was important. Guess what? You could go in and use ChatGPT to help you write the queries, how to optimize this database. You get what I'm saying? That's just the facts, okay? There's certain skills that you can now do with AI that just, it brings the value down of that specific skill. If it was worth 150, now you got to come in and give me something more, right? Oh, you know how to manage databases? Cool, but what do you know about AWS? You get what I'm saying? So now this skill that took you 10 years to master with AI, you now have to say, well, I got to combine it with something else. I got to go in and maybe understand how to work with DevOps, right? And then now my database administration skills, I could go in and combine that. So when I go to a company and say, hey, I'm worth $150,000, it's because I could do this and I could do this. This alone is no longer worth $150,000. This is now worth $100,000 to $90,000 because of your experience. Now, if somebody don't even have experience, we might start that person at $60,000, $70,000. That's just the facts. Okay, we can't sugarcoat it. This is where we at right now. Okay, but it's a good thing. You know why? Because the old heads, they don't want to learn AI. They don't want to learn the new skills. They don't want to go in and say, well, maybe I have to go in and I'm a full stack developer, right? Maybe today I got to go in and learn about Shopify. Let's just say, for example, and shout out to Shopify. You see the logo there, right? Maybe they have to learn about Shopify. But this guy is in his head, well, I'm a Node.js developer. I'm a Ruby on Rails developer. I'm a Python developer. I'm not going to do Shopify. So now, because he doesn't know Shopify, the day they pull the rug under him on his job, right? And he already have this high expectation of, I was making $140,000 and I got 10 years in the game. Guess what? By him going in and having this expectation and now understanding the world that we in now, guess what? He won't even apply to the Shopify job. He won't even apply to a job that's paying him $110,000 because it's $30,000 less. He's supposed to make more. Guess what? That's where you come in, right? You, the entry-level position developer, the new developer that wants to get into the game, you come in and you say, you know what? I have the skills that guy has, and I also know how to use AI, and I know how to go in and basically build these things much faster than him. And my skills in debugging and prompting and all of these things bring value to the table because now you're doing it way faster than that guy that has 10 plus years. He don't want to learn. He don't want to evolve. Let him be there. That's doing you a favor. Trust me, the same thing happened back in the days when, 2015, 2016, right? My edge at the time was I knew React. I was one of those developers that was early on React. I was using React before we was even using Webpack or Gulp or Grunt. I was using it early stages. You get what I'm saying? Like I know how to write React components bare bones. Okay? Went through the stage of going into class-based components, went through the stage to React hooks, right? But I've been there since the beginning. 2015, 2016, right? That era, right? That's when we started seeing the switch between regular just JavaScript and using MVC frameworks for JavaScript to then now focusing on component based where React basically, spearheaded this whole thing. Okay. And at the end of the day, the old heads, they still wanted to use Angular 1, right? The old heads still wanted to use Backbone. For me, as a new developer in the game, I was like, hey, I know React. And guess what? That opened up doors for me to get jobs that I didn't even think I could get, right? Because I have an edge over them. This is where we at right now. So knowing extra skills and combining it with your technical skills is what's going to really help you out in the long run. So right now, you know how to code, right? Bring value to a business, right? SEO is super important right now, right? Especially for AI. Everyone is switching over to AI and ChatGPT, Bing, Copilot, all of these things. So now they're focusing on this, okay? And a lot of companies are losing business, literally losing business, because people are no longer going to Google. And when they go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, could you find me the best plumber in, I don't know, Tampa, Florida? And then because that company came in and was early on working on the SEO for their business and, building it in a way where AI models can go in and actually pick it up, now their competitors are becoming number one. You get what I'm saying? So even if people go in and start paying a bunch of money on Google Ads, guess what? They're losing 30, 40% of their income, because now people's going to ChatGPT to find out what's the best plumbing company. This is a skill that's going to be around for a long time. So if you want to be ahead of the game, you combine your technical skills, because you actually need to have technical skills to do this, to start building programmatically SEO pages. And you combine that with the skills of SEO and monitoring and doing research, right? Combine those two things, the technical and SEO, and you're going to be golden. You found yourself a niche. You're good for the next 10, 15 years. This is where it's going. And when you're early on, you're going to be the rock star. All these other people, they got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm trying to give you guys game. Shout out to everybody in here. I'm going to go in and start searching for jobs in specific states. Put in the state that you want me to look for. And yeah, we're going to get into it. Again, today, I don't want to joke around too much. I want to give you guys value. I want to give you guys gems. I want people that when they watch this live stream, they leave out of here with knowing skills and knowing what to do next to be able to get into the game. Okay. Iqbal Singh says, man, I've been looking for a job front end side. It's been, I think, 6 months gone, but not a single response. Most of them just send automated messages. I'm doing something wrong, or this time is effed up. Look, Iqbal, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Yes, you're doing something wrong, okay? Whatever you're doing it wrong. If you're just learning front-end development, you're like, hey, I just want to get a job as a front-end developer, and you're not getting no responses, it's time to pivot, okay? I'm going to be honest with you, right? Go to the things that's going to give you results. If you're seeing that there's a lot of people applying for front-end developer jobs, which they are, right? Go and pivot. Don't be that guy that's like, well, I'm just going to keep slamming my head on this thing until something gives. Because you could spend there a year, 2 years, and you still won't find a job. Now, by the grace of God, you will find one, right? I haven't seen somebody that says, well, I got 3 years. But I've seen people that say, I got 2 years looking. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, think about it. Start pivoting into other things. Use your front-end development skills and use the things that businesses need from you. You know what I'm saying? Start doing some research. You see how right now, this is what you want to do, right? Every single day, you come in and you search HTML. This is what you know. You're a front-end developer. You know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, okay? Now, when you search for this, search for remote or search for the state that you're in. Once you do that, start paying attention to the type of jobs that's really popping up, okay? Clearly, you're applying to a bunch of front-end developer jobs and you're not getting in for whatever reason. It could be your resume, could be your portfolio. So this is what I would say. Continue applying to front-end developer jobs, okay? Make sure that your resume is good, your portfolio is good. Now, you go in and create another resume, matching roles like this, okay? Matching roles like this, okay? Where you say, okay, this is what they're asking for, right? You go in and you learn what the market is asking for. You don't go in and be like, well, I'm a, what's the name of this? I'm an archaeologist, right? I'm an archaeologist. And because I'm an archaeologist, and I have a master's and a doctor's degree, I'm supposed to have $100,000 job. But if the market's not asking for archaeologists, you need to pay attention to your degree, which is your foundation, and look at any jobs that is connected to that type of role or that type of skills and experience that you have, and then start applying to those type of jobs. Now, if you don't have those skills, this is when you go in and you take a whole month to learn that skill. So then now the following month, you go in and you now applying to your front-end developer job and the new type of jobs that you're applying to. because now you have the skill. You get what I'm saying? Now, for anybody that's stuck and you want guidance, you want somebody to work with you, guys, you got to come to codingphase.com. Okay? Shameless plug. All right? This is what I do. Clearly, you're watching me here because you find value. This is what I get paid for. You don't get paid for this shit. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? And sorry I curse a little bit here and there, you know what I mean? But that's how I talk. I talk to you like I'm talking to my friend, right? Look, I get paid for this. Okay, this is what my life consists of. Your life consists of learning how to code, looking at what type of jobs you're gonna get paid to get hired, etc. Right? And that's it. You're looking at YouTube tutorials and you taking courses, right? That's what you get paid for, right? That's the skill that you built. My job is to help people get into the industry and get in positions that other people are not paying attention to. So my whole day is literally looking at the different things that's happening in the market, right? Looking at the data, looking at what's happening in the news with, interest rates, this and that, right? I'm constantly doing research to see what's the next step. What's the next thing? What are the things that people could find opportunities in? Because that's what people pay me for. Okay. So if you go in and you say, well, I would like to have a team. I would like to have somebody that go in and help me out with this. Maybe I have a full-time job. Maybe I'm a student. I'm still trying to get into the game. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is when you got to go in and you say, let me go and check out Coding Phase. Okay. Because clearly I can't do this on my own. Let me get some help. Right? So this is what I'm doing right now. Okay. We got a 50% off, links in the description. Okay. You could take advantage of it. It expires on the 1st of September. We got what? We got like 4 or 5 days. How many days we got? We got today, 1, 2, 3, 4. So technically we got 5 days before September 1st. Guys, if you've been wanting to come to Coding Phase, you've been trying everything that's out there, you've never tried Coding Phase. Okay, I can tell you right now, if you want to learn the skills that's going to help you land a job, not skills to teach you how to code. You can learn that shit anywhere. You go to Free Code Camp right now. You go to YouTube, you go to Udemy. You could go anywhere for that. Okay, there's no other place like Coding Phase. We focus on getting jobs. We don't care what the position title is. What we care about is, can we do web development within that position? And what opportunities do we have there? Okay. So again, 50% off, links in the description. This is what we do. You don't have to believe me. You could go in, check out the stories. This is the Hall of Fame. Shout out to all the people that have actually sent me a testimonial for the Hall of Fame, because there's thousands of people that we have helped get into the game. And out of the thousands of people, 0.001% of those people are willing to come in and share this story. So when you see this here, and we got 90 plus people on this page, understand this. This is just a small amount of people that have came to Coding Phase and are willing to come in and share their story. Most people come in, they get their jobs, they're doing their own thing, right? And they don't share the story. Shout out to my boy Dylan, who part of Coding Phase, right? Working full time. And he hasn't even sent, a Hall of Fame success story or shared anything about the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that have came here. There's people live right now that have gotten jobs because of what we've done here on Coding Phase, or have, we've basically helped them push them to the next level, and still haven't do the, Hall of Fame, right? Haven't sent their success story. It's fine, right? I'm not here to force nobody. People do it when they want to. But with that being said, right, what I'm saying is we get results, right? We help people get into the game. So right now, if you're struggling, right, either learning how to code because you don't have nobody to hold your hand in this process, and you are struggling to find a job, right? I just did a video where I talked about how I got 7 interviews in 1 weekend. That should tell you something. I know something that not a lot of people know. Right? Again, because you could go on TikTok. Don't believe anything that I tell you, right? You could go on TikTok right now, search right now, tech industry. The amount of senior level developers that can't find a job, it's crazy. The amount of people that have skills and can't get a job, it's crazy. The amount of people that I've heard, just like yourself, that say, hey, man, I've been applying for 6 months. All I'm getting is automated messages back, and I don't have an interview. It's crazy. You guys are doing something wrong. right? And it's not your fault. Your job is to learn the skill, have everything that's there, and be able to apply to a job. But you don't know the market. Okay, you don't know the market. You don't know the right skills that you need to learn. You don't know what to put on your portfolio. You don't know what you need to add to your resume. You need to go to somebody that actually knows how to do this. Okay, that's why in one weekend, right, I got 7 interviews. All right, so that should tell you something. Now, getting an interview is not a guaranteed job. But what it does is it validates everything that you've done. If you can't get a job, that means everything else you did before that, it already tells you you're doing it wrong. Okay. So again, the same way how companies go to somebody who is an SEO expert, okay, and they say, well, I'm not getting traffic, I'm not getting clients, I'm not getting new customers. I'm willing to pay somebody that knows how to do SEO, AI SEO, and we'll pay a premium for that individual to come in and help our business get more customers, right? Or maybe a marketing expert, maybe a designer for a new design. The way how they go in and they move and they say, you know what? I'm gonna hire this person because this person, this is what they do, right? You got to start thinking of yourself as a business, okay? You got to invest in yourself. That's how businesses grow, and that's how you could grow too, all right? You come to codingphase.com. Trust me, I'm not gonna let you down, right? I've been doing this for 7-8 years, right? And people that have been to Coding Phase and have done the work can tell you, hey, no one else works as hard as this guy for his students and for the people that come to his platform. Codingphase.com is a platform where we sell courses and a platform where we do services, okay? You're not going to find that anywhere else. You come in, you become a Diamond member, I give you all the courses, and I give you all the services. Now, again, take advantage of it now because by January 1st, 2026, we are removing the services and only giving it to the people who signed up in this year, okay? Those services that we provide, we're no longer giving it to everybody, okay? You're going to have to pay a premium for that. The same way how a expert comes in and charges $5,000 to get a business going up and getting them the customers, we're doing the same thing. Okay, we've been doing this in pretty much pro bono for years of just giving it at dirt cheap. Like one time we had codingphase.com at $5. There was no profit there, right? I didn't make no money. I just wanted to help people. But guess what? Since we've been doing this and we've been getting results, we have to start charging the real price, right? So again, you're paying 50 cents a day right now. That locks you into having that price. And guess what? You get all the services that people already paid $2,000 for, right? And you're getting it for a tenth of a price if you sign up for a year, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? Take advantage, man. But yeah, if you're right now going in and you're applying to jobs and all you're getting is automated messages, trust me, you're doing something wrong, bro. You know, and it's okay. Sometimes we need help. Same way for me. Like when, you know, my business was struggling, I went in and I hired somebody that knew about marketing, right? When, you know, I didn't know that much about marketing, ads, and all of these things, what did I do? I went in, I paid for a mastermind. The mastermind cost me $6,000 for me to learn the skills that I have for marketing, running ads, you know, the whole process, creating a funnel and being able to go in and grow my business. That helped me go from making, you know, $150,000 a year on my business to being able to break the record, you know, on Teachable, right? We was making basically $1 million, all right? And you don't believe me, right? This is what happens when you pay for it. Again, I'm bringing this in here because I'm a real life example of what happens, right? This is a freaking award that you get from Teachable when you go in and you start making over $1 million in your business, okay? So Teachable is the company that hosts my videos and they also process my payments. Guess what? I would never have this, right? And probably I wouldn't have a lot of the things that I have right now if it wasn't because I went in, I invested $6,000 in learning how to do actually running ads and marketing and all of these things. This is something that you're going to look into the future. You're going to say, damn, this was the best $200 that I spent in my career. Going to codingphase.com helped me learn the new skills, helped me get into a new job. And then now I'm here because of this moment, this opportunity I had, right? And it was dirt cheap. This is why people come into Coding Phase and stay with Coding Phase for years, because they know shit at the price that I'm getting it, this thing is basically giving it away because the value that I've gotten out of it, right, is thousands and thousands of dollars. You could ask anybody that's in here that have came through codingphase.com how much their income has increased, okay, and how much money they've made since they became developers. Again, shameless plug, but it's also answering your question of what's going on, okay? You having issues, go to the experts, bro. Now again, you can find your own. You say, "Well, I don't know this guy. I don't trust him. He got a hat on. He got a hat on. He does a little cursing in his live stream. I don't know if this guy's legit, right? Go find the other best one, right? But invest in yourself. I don't care. Okay, come to me or come to somebody else. But I just know that they don't offer at what I offer at the price that I offer. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Because there are some good guys out there, right? But they are charging thousands of dollars. They're not doing $200 like for a whole year. They're not doing that, bro. You'll find a guy that will sell you a Udemy course for $20, but to help you get a job and to go in and coach you for a whole year, they don't do that shit for nobody. All right, shout out to everybody in here. Let's go into the chat. Sean is in the building. Yes, what's going on, my guy? Thanks, Joe. Yeah, been here since 2017. Worked as a .NET dev, full stack dev, React, Node.js, loving it. Yeah, man. Shout out to Dylan. Let me see. Parabellum says, I fell in love with code about 2008, 2010 timeframe in high school. People telling me that WordPress was going to take all the dev jobs away, push me away. Now I'm back. Yes. Shout out to my boy Lawrence, aka Super Developer Advocate. Super Developer Advocate. Dude is traveling all over the world. I don't know how he does it. Go follow my boy Lawrence, right? Search him on TikTok, Instagram, on X. I follow him on everything. Every time I see his post, I'm like, damn, he motivates me, right? I don't know how he does it, how he travels, how he does all this stuff that he does. Yeah, but shout out to him. Okay. Let me see. We're into here. Yo, I feel like you need to start recruiting companies for developers. Yeah, we even opened up a recruiting company back in 2022, right? I sold the company, got rid of it because I just don't have the time to manage people. And, recruiting is not as profitable as you might think. For you to really like have a recruiting business that's profitable, that makes sense for the amount of time that you have to put into it, you have to be a recruiter yourself. Okay. In a sense, think about it like this: is like owning a barbershop, right? Anybody, again, I always try to bring it to like human level. I'm not trying to bring it up here. I'm bringing it to human level, right? You guys know, right? You go to a barbershop, guess what? Most of the time, the barbershop is owned by the barber, right? The barber goes in, opens up his barbershop. Now he got multiple chairs. Those chairs, people got to go in, rent it, and pay a space for it. But for the barber or the business owner to really make the most money, he has to be a barber himself, right? Where now he's making profit from that, and he also making profit from every chair that's inside of the barbershop. Okay. Now there's a point where if the barbershop is lit, right, it's self-sufficient, and then at some point you could open up multiple ones. Then now, yeah, you're making a good profit, you're making a killing as a barber owner, right? Barbershop owner. But most of the time, most barbers start with cutting hair themselves, and they have to rent out other seats in the barbershop. All right. That's how they make the most money. And that's the same concept with recruiting. And, I had to get rid of it because I was like, I'm not trying to be a recruiter. I don't like recruiting. I don't like hopping on calls and asking people about their skills. I don't like doing that. I like to code, right? I like to create, right? So when I realized, okay, the amount of time I'm putting into this thing, I had to, let go of the people that work with me, and basically told them, hey, don't worry, I learned a valuable lesson. Recruiting is not for me, right? But it was cool while we had it. We had it for like almost a year. And also too, look, this is what I try to tell you. Who do you know goes in and says, hey, I'm going to open up a recruiting agency, right? To go in and learn from the other side of what happens in recruiting. Go find somebody here on YouTube. Find somebody who gives you that, who is so dedicated to this, right? That will go in and open up his own agency to find out what happens behind the scenes. How is it that this companies go in and get this contracts? How is it that, the ATS bots work on the other side, right? How the keywords matching works on the other side. You go find somebody that does that, and then you come back to me and I'll give you codingphase.com for free. I'll give you all my services, all my courses, everything that I do. You find somebody that does that, right? And I'll give you everything for free. There isn't nobody here. Because people, what they do is they say, well, I got a course. Here's a $20 course. Good luck. Either I got a boot camp. Here's $10,000. We showed it to you. If you didn't learn how to code or you didn't get a job, good luck. Right? They don't go the extra mile. That's what makes us a little bit different. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in here. Abdulia Diallo. Hello, I'm a full stack developer with 3 years of experience in West Africa. It's not easy to get a job online platform. Please give me some tips. Number one thing that I will always say to anybody that's outside of the US, learn the skills that people are not willing to learn here. If you are a full stack developer, right, the things that you should be focusing on outside of the US, I will suggest .NET and Java. Okay? .NET, Java, PHP. If you know those things, you will find a job. But if you go in and you're focusing on the latest things, hey, I want to learn Golang. Hey, I want to learn Node.js. Guess what? That's what everyone here wants to learn. And that's what everybody wants to do here, like a Rust, right? Python. That's what everyone here wants to do. So why would they hire you outside of the US when we have enough people here? Unless it's to really save some money. So when you see a Python developer and it says, whoa, $15, $20 an hour, well, now you got to go and take that job because that's what they're willing to pay for somebody outside of the US. They're just trying to catch a deal, right? Because there is enough people that do that here in the US. Same thing as React on the front end. If you want to go and learn a skill that's going to help you land a job, learn Angular. People don't even want to touch Angular with a stick. Like you give somebody a stick and you say, hey man, go touch that. It's Angular. They be like, ew, I don't want to touch that. That's WordPress right there. Here's a stick, just touch it. We'll give you money just for touching it. Ew, I don't want to touch it. Even with a stick, nah, they don't want to touch it. So this is your advantage, okay? You learn the skills that people here in the US don't want to learn and they don't have enough people for, and you learn that. And then now you undercut them. That's just the facts. Somebody will go in and say, well, I know Drupal. Well, I'm willing to do Drupal for, $90,000. I know you got a government contract. This government contract is going to pay you millions of dollars. I want to get a cut out of it. I want to get, 100, 110,000. There's not that many people that know it. So you have to pay me that because I'm experienced and I have this skill. Guess what? You as somebody that's outside of the US, you come in and you say, you know what? I'll do that for 60. Yeah, I don't have that many people that know how to do this, and there's not that many people that will do it for 60. I'll do it for 60. You get what I'm saying? So it's a combination of knowing the right skills, knowing the skills that don't have enough people for it, and it's in high demand, and that's when you're going to go in and get a job. Doesn't matter where you go, anywhere in the world. Okay? So that's my advice. You could take it or leave it. Let me see. Hog says, Joe, I feel like entry level is more like 40, 60, at least in the Midwest. Yes, it happens like that, right? Depending where you go. Like right now, if you go in and we search Montana, they're not paying a lot of money in Montana, right? That's not a skill that they consider a high level skill because their industry is not in tech, right? The industry is in agriculture, farming, etc. Right? That's where they make their most of their money. So you might have a better job as a, let's say a welder, right? Doing welding in Montana than actually being a developer. Okay. So again, this is why you want to learn skills and apply remote. And hopefully, if you have the skills, you have your portfolio, resume, etc., you land that position remotely if you want to make a lot of money, okay? Or you just have to move. apply to other states and be like, hey man, I got enough for my relocation. If they offer a relocation, take it. If they don't, they say, hey, listen, I'm willing to move there. And this is why it's so important to have good credit. This is why it's so important to have some savings. This is why it's so important to have, a lifeline. Having enough credit where you could go in and say, you know what, let me take a personal loan for $20,000. It might sound crazy, like, damn, $20,000, I got to take a personal loan. Guess what? That $20,000 gives you the money to go in, put a down payment in a property for a rental. You get to rent a studio. When they go in, they check your credit. Your credit is good. Even though you might not have that much income, your account says, I got $20,000. I got enough to pay for the whole year. And I got a new job. Here's my letter of job intent, right? Now, there's no denying that you could pay this job, this property, right? This rental. And now you just move to another state, right? Sometimes we're comfortable where we at. If you want to make money, you're going to have to do shit that you don't want to do. Shout out to Lawrence. I'm pretty sure Lawrence is tired of traveling all over the world, right? It's kind of fun, but at the same time tiring, right? But he has to do what he has to do. He got a family, he got a beautiful daughter going to college. I've seen, shout out to him, right? That's my boy. He got a daughter going to college, got a beautiful wife, got a little homestead he's building. Guess what? All of that shit comes with money. So he has to do what brings money to the table, right? Now, a lot of you guys are not willing to do what it takes to bring money to the table. Sometimes you got to do these things. It's like me. For example, I got 4 kids. I'm the only sole provider in this house. You get what I'm saying? If I'm going to take a risk, it's like right now, when you see me, I talk about, I'm about to go in and start applying to jobs. I'm going to positions, right? There's guys right now that are like YouTubers. They're like, I'm not taking a job. I'm not doing nothing. I got 4 kids. I got a family. I got things that I got to pay. I got responsibilities. I got family in the DR that I'm responsible for. I got family in New York that I'm responsible for. Family here in my house, I got to take care of, right? If I'm doing a move, right, I'm doing a risk, which is I'm going to cut out a lot of stuff that I've been doing for years, right, that have brought money to the table and, whatever, right? I'm willing to take that risk, but I also have to take a calculated risk, right? I'm doing trading, which is risky. I'm opening up a new business, which is risky. I'm switching my current business, right, which is going to be risky, right? Coding Phase, I keep saying this shit to you guys. I'm switching Coding Phase how it is. I've done so much work for people for dirt cheap. I'm not doing that shit no more for nobody. Unless you sign up this year. That's why I'm giving that 50% off. Everybody who comes in after this year is $2,000. If not, I'm not doing it, period. Now, for the people that already signed up, I'm going to do the work for you because you're already a grandfather in. Anybody else who comes in after that is $2,000, period. There's no discount. There's no if and buts. It's $2,000, right? And I don't need thousands of new customers. 100 students on a year, I help them get those 100 students. That's right there, go in and you calculate that. 100 times 2,000. You do the math on that, right? I don't need to do much, but I have to take a risk, right? I have to take a risk to go in and change my business model. So what am I doing? I'm going out of my own comfort zone. You think I want to go to an office? You think I want to travel to San Francisco? You think I want to go in and be like, do a conference in Germany? I don't want to do those things, but I have to take a calculated risk as I'm, changing everything around me so I could go in and have a better lifestyle in 2-3 years. There's people that are not willing to do that. I don't think about today. I think about 5 years from now. It's not sustainable how I've been doing this type of business of just helping people all the time without really getting what I'm supposed to. So I'm doing a lot of work. I got to go in and see, you know what? I could get $150,000 out of a job. And I only work from 9 to 5. I could hire somebody to come in and do Coding Phase, the daily basis stuff, and they could run that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll still make another $150,000 from it. Right? I'll pay somebody $50,000, $60,000 full time to do the day-to-day stuff. Right? But now I have more time. Okay? Now I share my life with you guys as an example, right? There's a lot of you guys that's not willing to go in and take risk or do changes. And if you want changes, you're gonna have to take this risk. You have to. Because it's either you stay there and you die, or you go in and take this risk and change. Or you die. You was gonna die anyways. That's the way how I look at it. It's like you either go in and take this risk and you die, right? Or you could go in and keep it moving and everything goes good, right? Or you just stay in the same place and you stay in the same fucking position you've been your whole life. You gotta take risk. There's jobs out here and a lot of positions everywhere, but you might have to move. You might have to travel. You might have to do this, and that. You might have to do shit overtime and they got you on a salary and you're doing $60,000. Guess what? You do that for 3 to 6 months and now you continue applying to a bigger role. Now you got a $90,000 job that now they're willing to give it to you because you have experience. You know, it's like I show you guys that $15 to $20 an hour job, which is just basically managing a simple website. There's people right now that won't do that job because it's $15 to $20. You don't have nothing coming in. The reason why you can't get a $90,000 job, a $100,000 job is because you have zero experience. You have to start from somewhere. Again, but what do I know? You get what I'm saying? I'm just a random dude with a hat on. You get what I'm saying? I'm just a random dude with a hat on. I don't know nothing, right? This is what I've been telling you guys. I'm trying to help you guys out. You're going to have to take risks. Their jobs is there. You're going to have to pivot to that job that is willing to hire you. Oh, that is in another location? You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to go in and say, you know what? I'm willing to apply to this job in New York City. I've never been to New York City. I'm applying there. I'm qualified for it. Let me see if I could get in. They give you the offer and they ask you, hey, are you willing to relocate? You say, yes. Then you go in and figure out how you're going to relocate. Ask your mom, ask a cousin, sell whatever you have. Do what you have to do. It's crunch time. Opportunities come once in a lifetime. And if you miss that opportunity, it's all downhill after that until you get the next one, which might not come. All right? So, Hook, please, if you're in the Midwest and $40,000, $60,000 is bad for you, leave. Or take it. And then from there, apply to a bigger role 6 months later. That's what I did. My first job was $13 an hour. You know what I'm saying? $13 an hour. Most people would look at it like it's nothing. And that's why I shared that little quick story for you guys in the beginning. I didn't take a $55,000, $60,000 job, and I ended up in a $13 job. Right? Opportunities come, and if you don't take it, you might have to go in and take whatever's best until the next best one comes. This is real life. This is not a fucking movie. This is not social media. This is not how people put this shit nice and pretty online. You one day you on the top, and another day you at the fucking bottom and you don't have nothing. And if you're like me, you have no support. You have nobody that helps you out. You have to do this shit on your own. Okay? This is your big brother talking to you right now. You know what I mean? It's either you do it or you fucking stay right there. You get what I'm saying? And that's it. Los Angeles, we're going to get into that right now. New Jersey. Henrico says, being in the Hall of Fame was a huge achievement for me. Nah, Dylan's like, here, at least I came back. Yeah, don't worry. Dylan, I'm just messing with you, bro. You know, I don't take none of that shit serious. I just like to play around. You know what I mean? But let me see. When looking for a direction development, I came across Joe YouTube, took me 2 videos to pull the trigger and make my investment in myself. I knew the value to learn and get results. Yes, sir. Laravel Spring Boot, you mean it's the way to go for people out in the US and .NET? Yes. Go follow Lawrence Codes on TikTok. He's a Java developer. He started as a content editor, we could say, came from coding phase. Now this dude, like I said, you know, he's killing it. Like he learned Java. He freaking worked at FedEx doing Java development. Now goes in and talks to people about Java and the different, different things that he does for different companies. Like the level of growth, go follow Lawrence, bro. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes people don't believe me. You go follow the sources. You get what I'm saying? You go follow them, see what they've been able to achieve in the last 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, right? You start here, you build yourself up, and it's all strategic moves. And you continue doing that little by little, little by little. And then now you go in and you say, damn, man, I'm 10 years in, I got a house. I'm 10 years in, I got $100,000, $200,000 in my savings account. I look into my, 401k. I got matching by the company, I got 85,000 there, just compounding, right? You go in and you look at your own personal trading account. Oh shit, I got $120,000 in there. This shit doesn't come by just luck and just like, well, good things is gonna come to you. That shit doesn't exist. You could be the best person in the world. Trust me, I'm a living fucking example of that. I'm the best dude that you ever gonna meet. I'm the best friend that you ever gonna fucking have. I'm the guy that's always fucking been good. Somebody comes in, tells me a sad story, I'll take care of them. I go in out of my way and help family that I don't even need to help. I've done everything that I have to do. Well, my kids is good. They live good. I fucking keep myself at night taking care of everything. Nothing good ever comes to me. I'm being honest with you. Everything that I have to do, I have to fucking fight for it. And what I'm sharing that with you is, don't expect because you are a good person that good things is going to come to you. You're going to have to go and get that fucking shit. You're going to have to grab that shit by the neck and say, come over here. You know what I mean? I'm breaking shit already. Yeah. It's empty. It's just a little can bottle. But what I'm saying with that is like, you're going to have to take life by the neck and say, yo, come over here. This is what I want. This is what I want for myself. So you just have to do it, bro. Don't expect nothing good to happen to you. You go and make it happen. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're in the U.S., you outside of the U.S. Understand that other people have done it. Everything that you're going through, everything that you've gone through before, people have gone through it too and have fucking got through it. Okay? Let me see. Shout out to everybody in here. Relocate and risk the chance of getting fired and being stuck out in New York. Well, this is what life is. Unfortunately, this is what life is. You either stay in the same place, right? And you die in the same place, or you take a risk that takes you to a higher level that you've never been before. And if you fail, now you go back to that same shitty place that you was in. But at least you tried. At least you went in and said, you know what? I'm going to go in and do this shit. The thing that stops us, trust me, I'm fucking guilty of it. I'm just like you guys. I'm guilty of that shit. We stop ourselves because the risk seems so high. What if this thing doesn't work out? Right? If it doesn't work out, you stay in the same spot. I've risked a lot of things, right? I've done a lot of shit, and it's to do better, to get a better position, to do, give a better life to my kids. I've done so much shit that's just risky that most people wouldn't fucking do it. You get what I'm saying? Most people wouldn't do it. Now, is it stressful? Yes. What you think this gray hairs is from? It's not from like me be like, whoa, I took it safe. You know who took it safe? I see all my friends. None of them have one gray hair, but they definitely do not live like me. They definitely do not have the things that I have, right? They live in paycheck to paycheck. They're living lifestyles that is like, they barely could do anything. The reason I live the lifestyle that I have is because I keep on taking risks. And it is stressful. It is shit that goes wrong constantly. But every time that I take a risk, it's a risk to do better. And if that risk didn't work out, I try another risk to get to do better to the next stage. It's just how life is. We can't fight this shit. You know what I mean? Like it's always gonna be like that. But thinking with this mentality of, well, if I relocate and risk the chance of getting fired and being struck out in New York, guess what? You get struck out in New York, this is where you go in and you say, well, I'm gonna go in and do a good job. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna save my money. I'm gonna have 6 months of savings, right? And now, if I do get fired for whatever reason, I have enough to either get my ass back to that shitty place that I used to live, or I have enough money to go in and survive until I find my next job here in New York. That's just how it is. We can't sugarcoat this. But what do I know? I'm just a random dude with a hat on, right? You know what I mean? Strong Flower says, you so right. Let me see, you so right on your own. Yes, it's hard, bro. Or homegirl, I don't know. Because I don't know if it's just a guy named Strong Flower. I don't know. Maybe it's a girl. But homegirl, or homeboy, like, yes, it is hard. Okay? It is hard. Yeah, man. You know, at least you're working, bro. There's people that's out here that don't have a job, haven't even freaking gotten a job. Omar Lower says, I was a software engineer at CBS. Well, you got to pivot, bro. You see, and I like the fact that you say, you know what? I took a tech support position. There's guys that don't even do that. Look at that. You got laid off X amount of months ago, but then now you got a job right away, right? Doing something with tech. There's guys right now, go look it up, go on TikTok. There's guys that were working as software engineers at company. They have all the technical skills. They have all the shit that they need to have to get a bunch of different jobs. But because they're like, I'm a software engineer. No, you're not a software engineer. You're a guy that solves problems. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people get stuck with these job titles and they go in and miss out opportunities. If a guy that's a software engineer is having issues getting a software engineering job or a full stack developer job, get a Shopify developer job. In a sense, you're overqualified for it, but you're making the same amount or maybe 10, 15% less. And you got money in your pocket. Right now, I'm not saying this to you or Marlo, but I'm saying it for the other people that they be like, well, I'm too big for this shit. You get what I'm saying? I could think like that. This award didn't come in from nowhere, right? This is from making $1 million a year, right? Now, if I go in and say, yo, I'm a dude that makes $1 million a year, I'm not willing to take a job. I'm willing to take a job because I'm about to take the biggest risk of my life. I'm about to jump into a new industry, a new business model, right? Which could jeopardize everything that I have and have built. But it's a risk that's calculated and I need to do it. There's guys that go in and be like, I'll make this. I'm not willing to do that. I'm willing to do it. Because I'll give you an example. If I go in and say, you know what? I only need to make $1 million a year and I'm overwork myself, I'm just killing myself, right? But if I go in and say, hey, how much do I need to survive in this world? What, $200,000 a year? From $200 to $1 million, there's no difference. I can tell you right now, there's absolutely no difference. Especially when you're a parent, you're a family man. It's not like I'm going out, I'm clubbing, I'm popping bottles, I'm in a strip club throwing money in it. I don't do none of that shit. Once in a while, I might go to a strip club. You know what I mean? But I'm not spending bread like that, right? So if I'm about to take a calculated risk, I'm not big enough to say I wouldn't take a job. I'll take the job to have that security blanket where if I make 100, 150,000, that's a security blanket that now allows me to go in and say, you know what? I could figure out to make an extra 100,000 no matter what, but my lifestyle is 200,000. So if I go in and I take a big risk jumping into new businesses, trading stocks and jumping into new opportunities, where my shit might not be $1 million no more. It might be 400, it might be 300, it might be just 200. I'm willing to risk it all to get me to the next level that I'm about to go to. But of course, with a calculated risk. You got to have a calculated risk and say, well, where's my blanket? When you're by yourself, you can't fuck up. Because if you fuck up, no one's there for you. Tomorrow I'll go in and say, hey guys, listen, I don't got $1. Not one person here is going to send me $1. Maybe Henry and Dylan and a couple of guys be like, here you go, Joe. He's looking for a GoFundMe. You know what I mean? But the truth is, people don't give a fuck about you. So you have to go in and do this shit calculated. So if I'm willing to go in and take risk and do these things calculated and set myself up for my next level, right? There's guys right now that will be like, man, I'm a software engineer. I work at this, and that. And, you know, I was making 160. There's a $90,000 job there that you could get easily. They're not willing to apply to it because they think that they're supposed to make that much. No, you make it if they're willing to give it to you. But what you got to care about is taking care of yourself and taking care of your family. Never let yourself go to the bottom, right? It's much easier for you to go higher when you have a little backing there, right? But if you hit the rock bottom, ain't nobody there for you. Always remember that, okay? So what I'm saying with that is that there are people that just, you know, I've seen it. You know, it's sad. You go online and you see guys fucking crying. Grown-ass men crying because, you know, they was making $100-something thousand, and they're like, oh, I haven't found a job in a year and a half, 2 years. Motherfucker, there's jobs every day. You telling me that you just ate up through all your savings to not take a $80,000 job? Yeah, now you're stressed. There's no reason for you to let yourself go to the bottom. If you have savings, you could survive with your savings and supplement what you have on your new job, right? And again, shout out to Omarlo that said, you know what? I got laid off back in March and now I took a tech support job, right? Meaning that he's smart enough. He's like, you know what? I got a skill. I'm looking for a job no matter what because I'm not letting myself go to the bottom. The goal is to always have money on you. You can survive in this world. Because if you hit the rock bottom, ain't nobody in there gonna help you out. Okay? Some Morbid Gay says, I just need 50,000 a year, at least for the first year, then 75 close to 100, 3 to 4 years. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, bro. You can start with that. That's a good starting point. PHP Dev says, I hope you keep this live. Yeah, man, there's a lot of gems in here. I shared a lot of stuff from my own personal life to show you guys I'm in the same position as you guys, right? It's just a different level. You understand? It's a different level because I got 10 years in this game. I've done this and that, right? But it's the same thing. I take the same risk that you guys are taking, right? It's just at a different level. But it's the same stress, the same stuff, the same shit, right? Life never stops lifing. So understand that that's how it is. So, and I share a lot from, you know, my life so you could find motivation in yours. So you could go in and say, you know what? Let me do this. Let me go in and shit. Even Joe goes through stuff. Joe even take risks, right? And you could learn something from that. That's why I created this channel. This channel is for me to go in and share my life as a developer, and people wanted me to help them out. And guess what? Now we provide that. But it really at the core of it is, hey, this is the things that happen in development. The things that you see me go through. Most of the people that know me from like 2017, y'all seen the process of me going in from quitting my job to building my business to being frustrated because I was only stuck at 150, you know, on my business, to then from there getting to a point where we're making $1 million a year, right? Fast forward, now we are in 2025. What's my frustration? My frustration is, you know what? My business and everything that I've done, in a sense, not that I did it wrong, but I've done it in a sense of like I'm pro bono, but this is not a nonprofit. You know what I'm saying? If I had a nonprofit, it would be different because then I don't have to pay taxes and this and that, and we keep that shit in the fucking the nonprofit. But I'm running it like a nonprofit when in reality this is a business. So if I'm gonna go in and do this shit the right way for this next stage, especially with this new business that I'm opening up, I gotta do it a different way. I gotta separate myself, Joe, from, Trader Planner, codingphase.com, the digital agent. I gotta separate from that, right? And let the business run by itself and let them, do what they have to do. And that's where I'm at in my life. So as I continue, you'll see that growth. And you might see me here 10 years from now. And it's gonna be, who knows, Joe talking about, man, I got this restaurant, I got this freaking real estate company. Man, I'm trying to sell this company because to buy this other company. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see the whole growth of like how we've been able to go in and grow as an individual. But all of this comes from me learning how to code. Maybe right now my life wouldn't be, it's a good fucking problem to have where you say, well, man, I'm taking risk from, making $1 million a year to now maybe making 400, 500. That's a good fucking, that's a good problem to have. You get what I'm saying? That's a very, very good problem to have. Because if I didn't go into this industry and become a developer, my problem would have been, yo, man, how I'm gonna pay this child support? How I'm gonna pay for this T-Mobile bill? Man, I just got this job at FedEx and they're taking shit, $300-400 out of my check. This fucking Honda just fucking died in the middle of the highway. Shit, I gotta change the tire. That's $250. That's basically half of my paycheck that I'm gonna get next Friday. You get what I'm saying? All of this comes with risk, right? But have gotten me to a better place. Learning how to code was a risk. Going into this thing was a risk. Everything was a risk. Because I don't have nobody. Well, I keep telling you guys this shit. I don't have nobody. I mean, absolutely nobody. If I need help with something, it's me. You ever been stressed and you're like, man, I gotta do this? I don't have nobody to call. I gotta call me. Joe gotta sit in the mirror and be like, yo, Joe, you're gonna be okay. Yo, Joe, this and that. Joe, don't worry. I don't have nobody I could call and say, hey man, could you help me out with this? Hey man, could you give me advice on this? I don't have that. And a lot of you guys are just like me, where it's like, you can't really count on nobody. So this is where, by me coming in here and being vulnerable and sharing everything about me and my life and everything, is to bring you guys together and to tell you this is something that we have to deal with. We have to go in and be the ones that make a change. We are the ones that have to go in and take risk. We are the ones that have to go out of our way to take ourselves to the next level, because no one's going to do it for us. No one's going to help us go to the next level. We have to do that shit. And it's risk in everything. But it's a fucking very good risk. You know what I'm saying? If right now you say, man, I don't know if I'll go to Coding Phase, or I don't know if I even learn how to code, whatever it is. I don't know if I want to invest, an hour, 2 hours a day for the next 3 months. And I'm seeing guys that come in here and say, well, they didn't get a job. That's the risk. Right? The risk is if you're not doing the right things, right? But even at that, it's like you're doing a calculated risk. You're saying, hey man, I'm gonna invest $200, which is the price of this fucking sneakers. This sneakers cost more than codingphase.com. This is $600 sneakers. Right? And I just have them there up there. What you could do right now is risk a 1/3 of what that sneaker costs. 1/3. 1/3 of that sneaker. Right? That people go in, they buy sneakers all the time and don't do shit for themselves. Right? This is 1/3. 1/3 of what Coding Phase costs. Right? And we spend that money all the time. Right? We spend that money all the time in bullshit that don't really bring no value to our lives. But sometimes we'll be like, man, I don't know, man. And it's like even college. Some people, they'll be like, bro, I'm not going to college. College is expensive. Bro, you're going to spend money on bullshit. You might as well pay for a night class, get your degree. Right? Again, I'm talking about Coding Phase, But in reality, you could put this thing to replace coding phase with anything that you like that will bring value to your life, right? You be like, man, I don't know about going to college again. If you want to get into like AI and do all this stuff, maybe get your bachelor's, right? Get your bachelor's. Go get your bachelor's in computer science, right? You know they asking for that. So yeah, you might have to go in and be like, well, damn, I went to a community college. It was like, it cost me $20,000 for that. I went to a state university after that. It cost me another 40,000. Yeah, but it's worth it because guess what? You're working towards something, and there is a risk to it. The risk is, am I investing into this education to do better in life? Right? It could work out and it could not work out. But at least I went for it and I tried. The worst feeling is when you stay at home and you be like, man, this shit didn't go nowhere. Nothing that I never fucking took a risk. I never did anything. I'm here. I'm still fucking doing deliveries for FedEx. You know what I mean? Now I got a side income doing flex for Amazon, right? But should I be here? Right? Do I plan on doing this shit for the next 10, 20 years? Unless you go in and you take that little risk, you're going to be doing the same shit. It just happens like that, bro. I'm telling you because I've seen it. Everyone that I've seen around me that didn't take one risk, that didn't educate themselves, that didn't go in and learn new skills, they're doing the same shit they were doing 5 years ago. I gave this whole fucking spiel in 2020. The same shit we talked about in 2020. People going through the same thing, you know. There's people that hit me up that are like, hey man, Joe, I should have listened to you. I'm like, yeah, you should have fucking listened to me. You watch me every day. You listen to what I'm saying, right? You hear, but you don't listen. There's a difference, you know? But it is what it is, guys. So what I'm saying with that is like I like to go in and share a lot of stuff to you guys so you could understand like the same type of risk that you take, I'm taking. And I take it for a reason. Because I want to do better for myself. You know what I mean? Let me see. Reading through here. Voltify, is the Diamond membership going up for current members? No. Diamond membership is not going to go for any members. It's not going to go up for anyone. Your grandfather in. Remember, we kind of did something similar to this when we had initially the gold membership. Then from there, we had the diamond membership, right? And the reason why I created the diamond membership was because I wanted to give more value, more services, like searching for jobs for you, doing the meetings, reviewing your portfolio, instead of just giving you a course, right? So in 2026, what I'm doing is I'm basically going in and say, okay, I'm looking at what other businesses, other competitors, right, charge, right? And what the market is willing to pay for. And I'm saying, okay, this is all the courses, right? Everyone who came in 2025 and before, and it's already a member and have signed up, you guys are paying basically a quarter of what the price they're supposed to be, right? For people that want coaching, that want people to review their portfolio, to do meetings with them, to hop on a call for them, to give my personal number for a reference call, a professional reference call, right? I'm not doing that for nobody unless it's $2,000. Why? It's very simple. People that it's in the same space as me or similar space, they charge $5,000 to $6,000 for that. It takes a lot of work to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? So why am I doing it for $200? I must be the stupidest person in the world or the most fucking, Mother Teresa guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a point. So that's what it is, right? But the price, if you came into Coding Phase, price is not going to go up for you. It's just for anybody that comes in after 2026. You know what I mean? They have to pay the price that's there. I'm not doing discounts. I'm not doing none of that. We might do like a Black Friday sale, but that's it. We're not doing all the stuff that we do because it takes a lot of work. Sometimes people think like they might see me here on YouTube like, well, this guy is just a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a business owner that's on YouTube. A YouTuber is a guy that's in here doing tutorials, doing YouTube videos. I don't do none of that shit. All the work gets done on coding phase. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we definitely gonna go in and it's gonna be different. But we've never raised price on anybody. Somebody that came in 2017, they got access to codingphase.com. If they maintain their membership, they pay $5. I've never raised it on nobody. I don't do that. There's thousands of people, and that's that's another thing too. It costs me money as people come into the platform, and I've never raised prices, and I'm not planning to do it, right, for anybody. But as new students and new people come in, I gotta go in and start looking at this shit like a business. Like, I can't charge that because everything's more expensive now. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm paying like 2,000 something for Teachable. When 2017, when I started this business, I used to pay $99. Now it's $2,000 a month. That's just Teachable. Klaviyo, that has 100,000 subscribers on the Klaviyo email account. Again, I'm giving you guys a lot of game so you can see the business model and you could appreciate what we've been doing here for years, and understand, like, we don't make the money that you might think we make, because I am giving it at such a discounted price. I give you a great example. This is Klaviyo. This is just one service, okay? This is just one service, right? We go to 100,000, right? 100,000, that's 1,500. $1,500, that's just Klaviyo. And we start adding other services and other things that come in, Zapier, all of this shit, right? We're talking about $10,000 plus just to run the business. So, so when you go in and you be like, yo, how much is Joe keeping? It's like, bro, like, we have to spend to make. So it's like, but yeah, it's expensive. Now it's way more expensive than when we started. When we started, this shit was dirt cheap. I was like, oh yeah, I could go in and give all the courses at one price and give all this thing and do all this stuff like dirt cheap. Now this shit got crazy. This shit got to the point where it's like, yo, what's going on? And I'm the only one that don't raise prices. So yeah, so we definitely not raising no prices on anybody. It's just as new students come in, my plan is just to have 100 students per year. You get what I'm saying? Like 100 students that we go in. Everyone who's already in the platform, as long as you are a member, you'll get every service, everything that we already been offering. New people that come in, or if you canceled before and you want to come back in 2026, you gotta come in and you gotta pay the price that is there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you already have years of like dirt cheap. Now, if you want the service, then you gotta pay for how much the service costs. But yeah, man, I just try to be super transparent and share a lot with you guys, so people could have an informed decision and understand how this thing works. Like, I want to help as many people as possible, but we also have to go in and do it in a smart way. I can't do it like, what I mean? It's like I got a pizzeria, I make 50 pizzas, and I'm selling my pies for $3. Domino's paying it for $10. You go to fucking, you get DiGiorno at the supermarket. It's $8.99. Why you have a pizzeria and you giving the pizza for $3? You get what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense, and it costs you the same way as a DiGiorno and a Domino's. You get what I'm saying? We could do this shit pro bono, but not till a certain limit. Anyways, guys, listen. I love you guys. Thank you for always coming in here with me. Again, please understand that when I share things with you guys, is to really to give you the mindset, give you where I'm at, and help you grow also too, and help you understand, like, what's the business model. This is not like even like one of this your YouTube channels that, hey, we want to get people to sell a course. No, I want to help people. I want to go in and do a service. And everything that I do is, from hard work. It's no one's giving anything to me. No one can come in and be like, "Why I did a $500 super challenge." No one does that. It's me working for you, making sure that you succeed, and doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes that you don't know about to make sure you get your job. You get what I'm saying? So again, this is what we provide and what we do at codingphase.com. So by the way, guys, like I said, we are on August 27th. Okay. So please do not miss out on this, because I just don't want people to miss out on it. It's 50% off. I know some people that really need this in their lives and need to come in and actually go through the service, have somebody to hold their hand. And I want to do that for you. I want to go in and help you out through this whole process. So, you know, you don't get left behind and be like, damn, I wish I could afford that. Because, you know what I mean? Like maybe somebody wants to say, damn, I can't afford $2,000. I don't want you to stay behind. There's people that will pay the $2,000, right? Because they have it. But you might not be in that situation. So I don't want you to miss out this opportunity that, you know, you're getting something that's worth thousands of dollars and you're getting it dirt cheap. A boot camp doesn't provide none of the stuff that I do on codingphase.com. And they charge $8,000, $10,000. Okay, so what I'm saying with that is I want to help you. Okay, I want you to come in. Let me help you. Let me help you get into this game, because at the end of the day, your success is my success. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. It's your boy Joe back at it again. Codingphase.com. Let's get it. Peace.